to from me. We're here today. I have got my bit of paper. We're here today to launch 2 books, which both came out actually late last year. The seeds of the Evolving Ethics book were planted in 1998 in Madison, Wisconsin, when Kevin and I were there attending conferences. And Kevin attended a talk by a PhD student talking about how you could evolve, or how language might evolve. And then the thought came to him with his philosopher's mindset, why not try to evolve ethical behaviour? So that night we talked about it over a beer, and the following year, in 1999, we started a research program by supervising an honours student called Stephen Mascaro.
Stephen?
So Stephen wrote up an excellent honours thesis on his A-life simulations that showed that suicide in this A-life environment was an evolutionary stable strategy, which was then published as a research paper, and that I guess partly helped him decide to continue on working in that area on a PhD. So from suicide to rape, abortion and parental investment, these were challenging topics indeed. Along the way, we struggled to publish this work in the computer science and AI venues because people felt that this work didn't really belong there. But then we found a more receptive community in the A-Life community. And so by 2008, Stephen's thesis was passed with one of the examiners, Mark Beddoe, who's also the editor of the A-Life journal, saying it was indeed excellent and suggesting that Stephen publish it as a book. So a further 2 years with Owen Woodbury, who's currently doing a PhD on A-Life simulations of evolutionary biology, joining the author list, and we finally have the published book. Oh, I need to have it in my hand, but I'll lay it out here. 12 years after Kevin's first idea. So this certainly doesn't fit the time frames prescribed these days for producing PhDs and publications. However, it does reflect the reality of how long it can take to do significant original research, from inception to PhD to later publications. Along the way, Kevin and I extended our collaboration to our common research interest in Bayesian networks. Since the first edition of the Bayesian artificial intelligence book was written in 2003, there's been a huge increase in the take-up of Bayesian networks as a mature technology for reasoning under uncertainty. So this has led to Kevin and I establishing our own consulting company, Bayesian Intelligence, in late 2007, and also the Australasian Bayesian Network Modelling Society in 2009. The field was moving on, and when the publishers approached us about a second edition, it did seem that it was time. Well, to produce 2 books in a year was always going to be ambitious. A tip for anyone thinking of writing a book. So this strategy worked for us each time. You put together a book proposal, pitch it to a publisher, sign a contract with a deadline, and this forces you to do the writing and deliver the manuscript. It's been a very great pleasure watching first Stephen and then Owen grow intellectually through honours and PhD. Both have worked with us on a number of other research projects, and they've also been instrumental in keeping Bayesian intelligence up and running with their technical skills, intellectual input, flexibility and commitment. So, thanks guys. And finally, I'd just like to thank my partner Paul for all his support and taking up extra home duties, particularly over this last year when I've been working full-time and getting these books done, along with everything else that he does. So, thanks Paul. And that's it from me.
Okay, well, we've got far too much booze to carry home, so let's get started on it.
Did you want
questions? Sure.
Oh,
yeah.
any questions? That's just a little bit of a history lesson.
Questions, go ahead.
Me, I was just trying to make sure that if anybody wanted to ask a question.
That
was me.
Ask about the singularity.
There's so much interest in the evolution of modeling, evolution of ethical principles, or is this completely unique, or more or less unique?
There have been some other people who've done a few similar things, but perhaps not as systematically as we've done. Not that we've done it systematically, but anyway, not as much as we've done.
Yeah, and I mean, it is really interesting, you know, to move into this area that really is quite new and has taken this time to develop, and you wonder sometimes, you know, we've got a book and we've got a few publications, but you know, is it really having an impact? Is it changing things yet? You know, or are we only going to know that in like 10 or 20 years' time? Stephen, you want to say anything to that? No. You're the first author. Okay, so we'll just continue on chatting, come and talk to us, look at the books, drink more alcohol.
Enjoy.
There we go. What do you reckon? Good? You're on Camera. I will be putting this on YouTube.
You want a photo?